What's up? I'm Moxie. I'm an anime artist slash character designer slash ex-animator of about 15 years. And Wuthering Waves has just dropped their first male character in about the same amount of time. Okay, it hasn't been 15 years, but it has been a minute. Okay, oh wow. Hyuan? How do you even say his name? Is that how you say it? This is extremely well themed. Is this our first look at his entire design? I feel like it is. Ooh, hang on. All right, let's look at the video and then we'll get a close look at his artwork and take it all in. Bamboo leaves dance in the wind. Am I being baited into thinking he's another aero type? I don't know what to think with this game anymore. A light rain is starting to fall. Hyuan holds his breath. Light bouncing off his sharp blade. He senses the enemy's state of mind and weak spot, and like a flash, the blade flies out. The enemy's done for. Okay, we have ourselves a stealth slash samurai slash ninja kind of guy here. This could be really cool. Also, is a new archetype, if so, right? We don't really have a stealth character, at least as far as I can think. Let's have a look. Yeah. The music. Ooh. Okay. Getting some close-ups here. So, one for the girlies, perhaps. That is an extremely detailed hand. I like how they've even introduced the bounce light of his shirt hitting the edge of his hand to like show the shape. Knuckles, bones, it's all here. Very nice. Look at that jaw shape. Holy crap. My man's is at peace. There was people speculating he might be blind. Hard to say for sure based off this, because we know he's clearly giving tranquility and peace as well as like stealth and quickness. Man, I love how angular everything is. Lots of hard line shapes around here. Very triangular, very pointy, which also speaks back to his like environment, right? There's no grass type, there's no leaf, like what do you normally call that type in video games? I'm too stuck in Pokemon. Either way, very triangular and green and masculine, which all points directly to him and his theme and his world. It's actually kind of giving a bit of 1.0 here. Really like the buffiness of the hair too. Quite like a retro sort of fringe hairstyle. Very kind of 80s anime in its own way, but obviously drawn more modern and leans modern as well. Like if you took away the ponytail and some of this other long stuff, this is almost like a Zuma dude haircut. Then you get the traditional like Chinese, Japanese, samurai, whatever you call it, big buffy ponytail. Really nice. Hair rendering is insane. Very painterly. You can feel like the lightness of the soft, like bright sun coming through. It's kind of muted by the, you know, the misty forest. Oof, that blast of blue here is really nice. His eyes opened. Hang on, let's go again. So his sharp blade swipe probably. The painterliness in the background kind of giving, very Jinzo, whatever you call it. Very, who's the painter girl? Jeja? In fact, his actual entire character design is giving very 1.0. Are we going back? One strike to settle it all. Like the dragon icon. Wait, that's the first Sentinel thing, right? Joe Biden? And this reminds me of those bells from the place where Chang Li was from, which is where the dragon was. Oh, we're going back. We need a closer look at his illustration and stuff. So let's go have a look and see if he opens his eyes. Cabinets, chill. Okay, yeah, the girlies are here. I told you. Dude! Oh my god, Daily Uno, you're making us look bad. Chill. Yeah, they know. All right, hang on. God damn it. Take it. Dude! Girlies are so down bad. What is going on? One strike to settle it all. Hyuan. A swordsman of cool resilience and absolute integrity. Wandering Hong Walong alone. That's the first area of 1.0. Huh. He seeks not fame nor high office, but mastery of swordsmanship and a life guided by high morals. Oh my god, the girlies are so down bad. Repost. Dude, you know, stop! Can I master his... Dude, see, you give him for the girlies will show up when it's time, man. Y'all don't know. Wow. Okay, hang on. Let's see the eyes. Dude, wow, the painterly illustration with the watercolor in the background. Yeah, very like traditional, splashy, calligraphic. With like the crows or the birds or whatever, which could slightly tie us back to Galbrainer a tiny bit. Oh, look at the solemn chill in his face. Okay. Oh man, I love the little blasts of red around the place too. We're doing contrast even for, is that, oh, is it blood? Nice. So tied into his gauntlet a tiny bit, but I think dude just has blood all over him. So just at a glance, he's very, very covered up in like a lot of blackish green, which actually was a kind of criticism I guess I had with like early 1.0 designs. It is funny how we've gone through so many female characters showing so much skin, and then they give us the first guy in ages and bro is completely covered. Dude. How's the wingspan? The shoulders are huge with the smallish head. He's gonna be a big man. Big shoulders, really triangular torso. Waist like pulled in with this belt thing, which I guess is where he like sheathes his sword and stuff. The multiple layers also I really like. This like cape-ish tunic over the top of the classic like kind of samurai kind of archer fit, right? Really cool. Love how raggedy all this is. The ponytail's actually massive. I'm a big fan of that. Backwards head things are some of my favorite like pieces of characters. It's huge. That is massive. That is huge. His ponytail. We did get a look at his eyes in one of the 2D animations, and they looked like an item in the game. I think maybe that is why people think he might be blind, but also like silver. It's interesting. It was in here somewhere, right? Sorry, you know. Wow. Yeah. So this gave people the idea that he's going to be like a blind samurai kind of archetype. Hey, look at this hair shapes. Fire. We see him facing off again against a bunch of people in, I don't know where. Oh, they're tacit discords. I don't know where we are. That's all we got, right? That's crazy. I do like how much material there is, how layered, how much like levels of clothing we have here. Very cool. Really intricate. Love the tears and everything too. This is our like solo man, you know? Is that writing? There's writing on the inner of one of his pieces of clothing. Actually, yeah, really cool. Very interesting. It's not a very big stick. Why is every sentence I say phallic? This made me think that there's not actually like a pole arm or like, you know, what's your kind of your Keelik Soul Calibur, your Dragon Ball, your Goku with his stick thing. We don't actually have that character yet. This is too thin for it to be that. This might just be his little carry bag where he holds onto his little items and stuff. Like he's been, you know, he's off away from his family. But we don't have one of them. We don't have like a stick polearm character, which would be interesting. We've mentioned sword a whole bunch, but that kind of means nothing in Wuthering Waves. I love the different bits of material, like in his boots here and stuff. This sort of circular theming, which also calls back to like Jinzhou Huanglong. Sort of goes up his entire second half and through his belt as well. Got the dragon sigil. A lot to like here. Another one who, when it comes to animation, could go absolutely crazy. I'm very curious to see this 3D model. This guy, I mean, Kuro Games has been interestingly known to have 3D models that sometimes actually look even better than their character art, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, lots of bird and lots of paint and lots of Jeja. Interesting. I can imagine a lot of flowy movement with this guy. Really push the arrow elements. If he is arrow. Yeah, that's the face of a troubled man. You can fix him. Don't worry, you can fix him. I like it. I like that we haven't fully given up on the 1.0 design motifs and like language, and that we can keep pushing it in a way that still feels new. Very cool. I love this hair, man. Sick. Oh, funny. So it turns out the reason they re-uploaded it was because they... oh, I would have lore deep dived this. That's interesting. They re-uploaded him because they forgot to put his star numbers on here. They forgot to put his 5-star. How do you mess that one up? I mean, I get it. I've turned off layers on accident a billion times. Actually, that would have been really cool. You should have left it off. You should have left it off, Kuro. That's such an interesting idea that this guy, like, he's so separated from humanity and he's doing his own thing that I'm not even showing my star level. my rarity. You can kind of start deconstructing the genre of gacha games at that point. I'm going way too far down the rabbit hole. I'm just a big fan of stories that deconstruct the genre that they're in. When do we see these guys in action? It's not too far away, right? Or is it too early? Either way, subscribe, because we'll do our best to have a look as soon as possible. And nice to see some male representation. And look, there's a bunch of dudes in the video game space who actually don't like playing as female characters, which is like a little bit of a surprise. I mean, it's not a surprise. I get it. You guys want to play as though you are this cool dude in the world, right? Bring in more male characters, even though they maybe don't sell as crazy as the girlies do. You can definitely expand your audience by adding more male characters. You absolutely can. Anyway, I've played through the entirety of Wuthering Waves so far, so click here and go watch some because it's the most fun I've ever had in a playthrough since Elden Ring, and it might have even been more fun than that, which is crazy to say.